Driver Carrington gets dumped by Benami. The leaders are winding up here. Daytona. The Kingwood is out. Good evening, race fans, and welcome back. The Southern 200 presented by Open Group here at the All-American ARCA Series. Tonight we find ourselves at Darlington Raceway, the fourth round of the All-American ARCA Series. We're going to go 147 laps, 200 miles. Drivers having 85% fuel allotment, 3 additional sets of tires, and 0 fast repairs. As always, I'm your host, James East. Bringing the action 1080p, 60 frames a second. We've also got our race control here tonight, Jumpin' Johnny Eckert, as well as Joseph Penn. We'll be making sure our drivers are well behaved and not doing anything too out of sorts. Right now, Mitchell Riggs in the top spot for qualifying. And let's see who else may be out on track. Jack Roethlisberger, the 90 machine, going out for his first timed lap. That was good enough for second already at 29.62, 3/10 behind your current pole setter, Mitchell Riggs, but a lot of fast drivers making their way out. Not quite a full lobby tonight, but very healthy amount of drivers. We got Victoria Harper tuning in. And a good happy Friday to everybody involved. Happy Friday to you as well. Speaking of, let us know where you're from, who you're cheering for, as our racers will be watching back to notice what fans are out here supporting them. Roethlisberger comes off at 29.85 last time by, so not good enough to him on his opening lap. David Tooker in the number 83 machine making his way out. And looks like he's going to back it down and maybe try and get another run of it here. Carrington going out in the number 9 machine. Let's see what Carrington can do on his opening lap. Look, about 27, 28 drivers have made their way out. And this is going to be an interesting night as well at Darlington. The fast line way up by that outside wall. The track looking deceptively wide, but really a very narrow line you can run here to put down fast laps. Carrington clicks off a 30.14. And it looks like that may be it, as I believe he might have tagged the wall there and invalidated his lap. You have a couple of substitute drivers tonight. We've got Mitchell Riggs now sitting second. He got bested by Matthew Weeks, the number 11 machine in qualifying, but Riggs will be subbing out for Dave Westergreen tonight. We've also got Tate Lytle. He's subbing in for Robert Hill in the 05 machine. So a couple of some new, some familiar faces joining us once again, while drivers are opting to take a week or so off of All-American ARCA Series. Real life always coming first. Currently watching to see what Nick Terrell can do in the 81 Doritos backed machine. His opening lap was a 30.82. That's only good enough for 23rd. Let's see what he does as he crosses the line. Does he improve ever so slightly with a 30.32? That will be good enough for 21st. Looks like Doyle, Tooker, Mock will not put down qualifying times. And Patrick Hernandez will also not go out on track, opting to start towards the back here tonight. And let's get ready to get this party started, ladies and gentlemen. It's Matthew Weeks starting on pole, Mitchell Riggs starting second. You've got Zach Roethlisberger starting third. Jacob Fest-Cannon starts fourth. Michael Vandermeed starting fifth. Tate Lytle sixth on the grid. Zach Rogers starting seventh. Brad Delph starting eighth. James SoundCloud Silver starts ninth. Bradburn Shutter starting 10th. Mike Husby, the 11th on the grid. We've got Greg Carr starting 12th. Alex Penn, the road racing phenomenon, starting 13th. Andrew McGonigal starts 14th. Gareth McAllister, the world-famous Australian, 15th on the grid. Cody McCorkle starting 16th. Davis Warren starts 17th. Finley the Brit Fitzsimmons starting 18th. Casey Carrington starting 19th. Alex Carr starting 20th. Nick Terrell starting 21st. Gus Moon second. Kyle Hall starting 23rd. Craig Martin starting 24th. David Tooker starting 25th. DJ Weeks Jr. starting 26th. Got Lane Doyle starting 27th. Dylan Smock starting 28th. And Patrick Hernandez will round out our 29-car grid here tonight at Darlington. I'd like to once again thank you to our friends over at Open Group coming on as a title sponsor this season. If you're in need of any sort of web hosting or server hosting provided, check them out, Open Group. They support the league. You can go out there and give them your support as well. As without those guys, these races would not be as big as they are. As we put up a poll for our community watching in tonight, let us know the over-under 9 cautions as the pace car is in. It's Weeks and Riggs on the front row. Robert Hill Jr. joining us tonight as well. He's taking the week off. Turn on to the good guys over at Mountain Man Motorsports. And here we go early on. Mitchell Riggs has taken over the race lead number 55 machine. And already, I think we're going to have problems towards the back. David Tooker involved in an incident, but way down low in the apron, so the caution will not come out as of yet. We go back to checking on Matthew Weeks, the number 11 machine. He's running second to Zach Roethlisberger, the 90 machine, right in tow. But if you go back to Vandermeed and Rogers going side by side, Rogers, the number 4 machine on the inside line. Vandermeed and the all-gold number 7 just ahead of them. There's smoke on the track. Not quite sure. That may have been from the incident Tooker found himself involved in. As we get another alert for the sub-drivers. Post on the bottom of your screen, you're going to see alerts like that throughout the broadcast. That will be provided by Race Control again. That will be served by Joseph Penn and Jumpin' Johnny Eckert. Our Race Control tonight. Remind us who the sub-drivers are. Mitchell Riggs, Tate Lytle. Riggs for Wester Green, Lytle for Robert Hill Jr., who's joined us in the spectator area, cheering on his teammate. We've got an international battle out on track. Finley, the British Fitzsimmons, dives it up the inside of the Australian. Gareth McAllister, that will be the move for 13th here. Drivers from all across the world coming out to compete tonight. As Riggs, your race leader, still running a half second ahead of Matthew Wheat. Second, Roethlisberger rounds out the podium. Current podium, I should say, only 4 laps in of this 200-mile feature event. Back a little bit further back in the field once more. Here's the battle for 18th. McGronigle and Carrington going side by side at Darlington. Again, for what appears to be a surprisingly wide raceway, diving through the corners, kind of tough to make any momentum. As Carrington looks to the inside line and McGronigle through 3 and 4. As Carrington has made that pass to 18th, he's going to keep his head down and keep charging forward. Going back, so it's going to be Vandermeed. He's got Rogers, Lytle, Delph all in tow, single file. Now this race schedule will be slightly over an hour long, barring any cautions. Going to be very interesting to see how things develop as the run goes on. If these cars get tighter, it's a little bit tougher to navigate these turns to throw the car in where you want it. And you may see world-famous Darlington race stripes start to appear. That, of course, is when the drivers start tagging that outside wall throughout the run. As we saw in qualifying, the high line way up there on the relatively shallow bankings. Looks like Wheat and Roethlisberger gaining some steam on your race leader, Mitchell Riggs. What's this? Steppers down pit road early. Not sure what's going on with the number 17 machine. He's going to be now down 20 spots from where he started. And will be the absolute first driver on pit road. As we watch your top 3, Riggs, Weeks, Roethlisberger linked up here. Good to see the fill-in driver for David Westergreen, Mitchell Riggs, coming out and leading some laps early on. He qualified second in that number 55 machine, but quickly put it up front, and it looks like he's making some ground here. But Weeks and Roethlisberger running second and third, no stranger to bringing home some top results here at the All-American ARCA Series. What on earth? Now Gareth McAllister comes down pit road. Not quite sure what's going on. Silver's left pit road after 1 minute and 12 seconds, so that would be in his pit stall for 32 seconds, so I don't think it was a stop and go. I don't know if he had some sort of problem. Try and keep an eye on how long the Australian's in his pit stall as well. as your top two drivers, Riggs and Weeks, looking like they have a bit of a breakaway. They're a very comfortable 6/10 or so ahead of Roethlisberger. McAllister in and out of his pit stall in 21 seconds. I'm wondering if the driver maybe had some sort of damage from early on and want to go ahead and get it addressed before things get worse. Zach Roethlisberger in third, still 6/10 behind your race leader, but a very comfortable 3.3 seconds ahead of Vandermeet and Lytle, who round out the top five. Looks like Roethlisberger may have just ever so slightly tapped the wall there. And soon your race leader, Mitchell Riggs, looking calm and collected, will be coming up on traffic here at Darlington. Now we're starting to get some of the votes roll in. Fans voting if we're going to see over, under 9 cautions tonight. Not sure why pick 9, just felt like a good number. As McAllister comes down pit road for the second time tonight. Looks like Weeks starting to put the pressure on your race leader. Or are we going to see Matthew Weeks try and make a move here, or is Zach Roethlisberger going to be able to catch up to the top 3? Meanwhile, the battle for 4th starting to shake up. Tate Lytle slides across in front of Vandermeet. Vandermeet has the check up there, but can't do so too much because Zach Rogers in hot pursuit. Alex Carr has an incident in the number 1 machine. Tries to get it fired back off and going. Still no caution. Very interesting. Darrington makes his way around McCorkle for 13. I guess that's one of the downsides of this track. The track width just so wide, about 5-6 lanes wide. Can have a crash and considered to be in the safe area, and then the built-in iRacing officials do not throw the yellow flag. Now we're watching Carrington. Looks like he's catching up to Davis Warren, the number 70 machine. Warren is up 5 spots while Carrington is up 6. Well, let's go back up front as Matthew Weeks takes over the race lead from Mitchell Riggs. So Riggs will be relieved of that lead after 20 hard laps. Very surprised we made it 20 laps in without any major incidents. We've had a couple of drivers that were probably thinking the caution flag should have come out, I should say, but no such luck as Weeks still catching up the traffic. That is going to be Nick Terrell, the number 81 machine. Terrell running 26 here tonight. McAllister out of pit road again. Dylan Smock this time will be involved in an incident, heavily damaged. Surely the caution will come out now. What is going on to the built-in timing? Smock able to keep some sort of pace as now Radburn Shutters comes down pit road. Dylan Smock will follow pursuit, and that's 25 laps in, no caution. What an interesting night here with the lack of yellow flags being thrown. Maybe a welcome problem for race control. They're just happy they're not having to deal with it. As Weeks has pulled a half-second gap on Riggs. Riggs about a half-second ahead of Roethlisberger. Now, how much traffic are these drivers gonna have to deal with tonight? As we've seen a lot of drivers down pit road early on, a lot of drivers struggling to hold on to it. As more and more drivers are gonna start scraping up those right side body panels. You can see Matthew Weeks right on the wall. As we're watching Weeks extend that gap here, 28 laps in. As you go on board, the race leader being very mindful of the throttle out of turn 3 and 4. Down the start and finish line, a packed house here at Darlington. Not having to struggle too much with traffic. Looks like a lot of the traffic is doing a good job hopping down low to avoid the race leaders from maybe collecting them. Got another battle on track. That's Michael Vandermeer with Alex Penn right on his heels. Vandermeer, the number 7 machine. Penn in his signature number 30. It looks like Fitzsimmons and Warren having their own battle here. Going back and forth, and I think Fitzsimmons tags the wall. It's going to allow Warren to capitalize. And that's what's going to give these drivers 30 laps in. Again, we think the fuel window is going to be about 60 laps tonight. But tires is going to be the major concern for most of the drivers. As we watch a heated battle here for 12th, that's Fitzsimmons, Warren, Weeks, and Doyle. But up front, looks like Tay Lytle has caught up to Riggs, maybe keeping the tires underneath him just slightly better. we're going to go back to that battle for 12th because I think that's going to get pretty heated. We've already seen some of these drivers tagging that wall, signifying that they're maybe pushing a little bit too deep here. And now, once again, Weeks and Fitzsimmons going at it. So earlier it was Warren and Fitzsimmons. Now Weeks is going to send up the inside line, the 97 machine. Lane Doyle's going to try and follow in the Bob Ross back 32. Kind of like Weeks may have just ever so slightly tagged the wall there. As Fitzsimmons gets a little bit squirrely, here comes Doyle on the outside line. And look at him blasting by here. That's Hernandez, Doyle, Warren, and Fitzsimmons. Another possible battle we'll have out on track will be Rogers, Vandermeet, and Penn, the 3-car battle for 5th. And very impressed, we've been somehow able to keep it clean and green all the way around. The wide track allowing these drivers to make their way through. Alex Carr comes down pit road. As well as Gus Moody for possibly their first stops of the night. Looks like Vandermeet's going to have his hands full with Alex Penn. makes his way out of pit road. Moody looks like he's making his way out as well. He's in there a lot longer, 50 seconds. As we're going to check back in on your race leader, Matthew Weeks. Tate Lytle has been very slowly catching up to that number 11 machine over the duration of this run. Lytle just 2/10 off your race leader here. Is he going to try and make a move, or is he going to try and just kind of tuck in and follow the leader? As I think he's going to follow in tow. Weeks is going to have a whole lot of traffic ahead of him, as they are very far into this run. Still 20 drivers on the lead lap after the 29 that started. Looks like Tooker, Shutters, and Spock have all been forced back to the hauler early. They are done and out of it here tonight. And very surprised these two drivers so close. Now they can make this a two-stop race. And just like that, Weeks is going to take it on the inside. Excuse me, that's Lytle on the inside line, taking over from Matthew Weeks. So maybe two drivers communicating, saying, all right, I about used up all my tires. It's your turn to lead this party. As Lytle and Weeks are on the same team here tonight. Both racing with Mountain Man Motorsports. Again, Lytle filling in for our good friend Robert Hill. Going a little bit further back, Mitchell Riggs has Zach Roethlisberger and Zach Rogers right in tow in a three-car battle for third. Expecting this run to last about 13 more laps before they must come in for fuel. And we will have our first caution of the night. I see the smoke. I don't see the driver involved. The live timing software didn't pick it up. I think it may have been Lane Doyle as he takes a tow back to pit road, signifying that something catastrophic has happened. Let's take a look and see. No, it wasn't Doyle. I'll be honest, ladies and gentlemen, I have no earthly idea what brought that caution out. We thought it may have been Doyle since he showed in live timing taking the tow, but it's going to work well to a whole lot of drivers. The top 18 drivers who did not pit under green. We'll wait for the word from race control here. As they will come down in a tidy pack on pit road. As that is first through, I believe, 19th place. That's going to come down pit road. No, McCorkle looks like... I can't tell if McCorkle is staying out or catching up here. Like he's staying out. I wonder if he's involved in that incident or maybe getting the lucky dog. Now, he hasn't pitted yet. As we roll out of pit road, it's going to be Lytle, Weeks, Riggs, Rogers, Roethlisberger, your top five. We're being told the lap 47 crash was the 97 will receive, excuse me, the 94 will receive the EOL for crashing into the 19 machine. That's Patrick Hernandez in the 19. The 94 is going to be Andrew McGonigal. Oh, well, yeah, that'll do it. Oh, yeah, McGonigal thought he was clear, just barely tagged the back of Hernandez. Luckily, not the worst crash, but very interesting what's happening at Darlington. So on my broadcasting software, normally it'll show me where a crash is, who's involved, but it didn't pick up anything on that one. Here we go for the first restart of the night. Lytle and Weeks on the front row. Roethlisberger and Riggs in hot pursuit. Lytle gets a great launch here. But now we got all the drivers with fresh rubber underneath them. The cars will be a little bit looser than we're used to at the end of that very long run. And we know Lytle has the long-term pace as far as keep the tires underneath them. But behind Zach Roethlisberger, the number 90 machine, things are getting heated. Actually looks like Roethlisberger going to look to the inside line of Weeks here. And the number 55 machine of Mitchell Riggs is going to follow in hot pursuit. $16 drivers on the lead lap, ladies and gentlemen. And now it's going to be Riggs putting the pressure on Roethlisberger. Has to back out of it. Still watching. Looks like Tate Lytle just checking out here. 1.1 seconds ahead of Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger running about a half second ahead of Riggs. Well, let's check in on Matthew Weeks, where he's running currently 4th on track, the number 11 machine, and then a massive pack. That is all the way back to 13th, and quite a cluster of drivers. Very impressed with how things are heated tonight. So far, not the caution fest that we were expecting. "67% of our viewers still saying we're going to have less than 9 cautions tonight, and right now they're looking pretty good for it. As Weeks is fighting with everything he's got to hold on to 4th. Going to be interesting to see how this shakes up the pit cycle as well tonight. There's still 16 drivers on the lead lap. Some of those drivers that came in under green flag conditions are probably kicking themselves here. Interesting to see if Vandermeer's going to just follow in pursuit as well as Husby and maybe try and get through a run here, or are they going to make any big dives and jabs at Matthew Weeks holding on to 4th? Now, Weeks, to his credit, in 4th, is very slowly crawling his way up towards Mitchell Riggs in 3rd. Weeks in the freight train of drivers behind him has been about a 10th faster than Riggs the last couple of laps. We'll see what it updates to this time by. The next time by, I should say, as they make their way through turns 3 and 4 en masse. Now that time by, it was Riggs' turn to click off a lap about a 10th faster. But now Weeks can see the number 55 machine just ahead of him and knows that the podium is just within grasp. Not quite to the halfway mark yet tonight. And waiting to see what's going to happen from 4th place back. Right now, it's your race leader, Lytle, Roethlisberger, Riggs running 1, 2, 3. As the field very stacked up here. From about 4th through, it's going to be 12th at this point. At the tail end of this line is Alex Penn. He's chasing Jacob Fescannon. Matthew Weeks has a bit of a breakaway, starting to catch up and use the draft from Riggs. Meanwhile, Vandermeed's starting to lag behind ever so slightly. James SoundCloud Silvers, he comes down pit road for a green flag stop. As it is mostly single file around the raceway here tonight. A bit uncharacteristic for these drivers, but good to see the consistency. After we had those couple of early incidents, but no cautions, and finally it was the lap 47-48 caution that threw a wrench in the plans for some of these drivers as far as pit strategy. Still 16 drivers on the lead lap, 24 drivers still making their way around tonight. Vandermeed trying to fend off Husby, but here comes Husby on the insides. The 6 and 7 cars battling for 5th. Looks like Vandermeed holds on to it. But now Husby's going to be starting to show him the wheel a little bit more often, letting Vandermeed know, hey, I want to make my way around here. As they have really fallen off away from Matthew Weeks, who's almost 2 seconds ahead at this point. Gus Moody comes down pit road, as well as Patrick Hernandez. And here we go once more, Husby and Vandermeed side by side. Looks like Husby will get it this time. And now Brad Delph, number 14 machine, is going to make his shot at Vandermeed. See if he can work up into 6th. And a little bit further up front, Mitchell Riggs is now going to put pressure on Roethlisberger in 2nd. So good to see the long run drivers really coming out in force. Now Riggs trying to pull away from Roethlisberger. But Weeks has other plans as he's going to join the fray as well. But let's see if Riggs will somehow be able to start to catch up as Weeks and Roethlisberger cutting through traffic, slicing and dicing. Now, right now, these two drivers about a second and a half back from Mitchell Riggs in second. It looked like Riggs was having a good run to catch up to Tate Lytle, but he may be battling with traffic as well. As we check back in on your race leader, Tate Lytle, he's 2 seconds ahead of Riggs. And making his way through traffic, McAllister and Hall coming down pit road. As we have completed the halfway mark of today's main event, only one caution thus far. And still 16 drivers on the lead lap. Everybody out there fighting tooth and nail for every spot they can get. Very tough to make any moves here. This is going to be interesting for Lytle. He's got a lot of traffic to run through as the field keeps carrying on. But now you're going to have drivers with differing degrees of tire wear. Some drivers more comfortable in the long run. Some drivers not used to going 50, 60 laps under green flag conditions. As it looks like Lytle making it clean and easy, not trying to put that 05 machine in any damage. Knowing his main responsibility as a fill-in driver is just bring home the car clean, score some points for the a little bit further back, the battle for 6, Zach Roethlisberger, Brad Delph. Ooh, looks like that was Roethlisberger hard into the wall there. That's going to allow Zach Rogers through as well. Already drivers really fighting with some tire wear. Well, who's that? That was Roethlisberger with a massive blink at a very inopportune time. DJ Weeks Jr. is going to be holding his breath here in that 97 machine, hoping not to get collected by the disappeared Roethlisberger. Oh, that is not good. The Roethlisberger, you can see the spark showing up behind Alex Penn. That's where the sim thinks Roethlisberger is, but the problem is the other drivers can't see him there, and he can't see them whenever those big moments happen. Tate Lytle clicking off laps. Brad Delft, though, in 6th, leading a bunch of drivers behind him. It's Rogers, Fescannon, Weeks, Carrington, Penn. Looks like Delph and Rogers may get a little bit of a breakaway. They want to get away from Fescannon and try and make this a 2-car battle as opposed to a 6-car. Now Roethlisberger has taken a tow back to pit road after his connection issue, so he may be done for the evening. Hate to see that for the driver of that number 90 machine. He was running very quick out on track before what appeared to be a disconnection issue. As we have dropped to, I believe, yes, 14 drivers on the lead lap. Tate Lytle running almost 3 seconds ahead of Mitchell Riggs. Riggs about 3.3 ahead of Matthew Weeks. So the field, especially the top 3, extremely stretched out here. Lytle has got to be ecstatic here, as well as that car owner, Robert Hill Jr., to see the 05 machine charging up towards the front. But we got to go check back in on Delph, Rogers, Fescannon, Weeks, Carrington. This is the battle from 6th to 10th out on course. And if you're going to see a minor mistake rapidly go bad, this could be where it's at, as Fescannon and Rogers going side by side. We've got Robert Hill joining us in the spectator area saying that's the best the 05 machines ever ran. So good to see him laughing along with us, enjoying the show. As now Weeks and Carrington go side by side. Carrington way down the apron there. Almost gets into Penn. The thing's shaking up inside the top 10. And we've also got good old world-famous David Westergreen, the world-renowned iRacing broadcaster and commentator, join us in the spectator area. He's cheering on the number 55 machine on Mitchell Riggs, the fill-in driver for Westergreen tonight. I mean, both not team owners, but car owners, Robert Hill Jr. and David Westergreen, had to be ecstatic, as while they're off track getting things sorted, their cars are running first and second. Silvers has a crash, takes a tow back to pit road. I think he was trying to limp that thing home. Not sure where the contact may have been from earlier, but the front left wheel has been removed from that machine. So hate to see it for Silvers. Now we're going to wait to see when our drivers start to come down pit road. The fuel window officially opens, so if at any point they have a caution, they should be able to come in and run till the rest of it here. And Lytle really with a big run. We got Radburn Shutters joining the spectator. He's not happy with how tonight went, saying that the setup not quite what they were looking for tonight. As yes, we are down to 11 drivers in the lead lap, and it looks like Lytle may have tagged the wall there. I'm wondering at what point, I mean, we're 50 laps in, or 52 laps in on this run. Are the tires going to give before the fuel does? But that would be the next question. Is Lytle going to come in for fuel as his main inspired force, or is it going to be tires that force the number 05 machine of Tate Lytle in? Your race leader, Riggs, another fill-in driver, running second. Weeks runs third. Husby and Vandermeer rounding out the top 5. But Weeks is going to have company as Husby's still in hot pursuit. Now, what was that? I'm trying to see having a battle with traffic. That's Matthew Weeks. He's got Husby right behind him. No, it's Husby having a battle with traffic. Number 25 machine of Greg Carr coming out after a lap 100 pit stop. He will be on much fresher tires here, able to put the power down. That will separate Weeks and Husby ever so slightly. Maybe allow a chance for Vandermeer to get back up there and battle for a podium spot, but no, here comes Husby as Weeks just holding on for dear life with the tire wear at this point. Not able to make any big moves. Now, Vandermeer was able to gain about 4/10 while Weeks and Husby were busy battling traffic as Weeks once again tags that outside wall, signifying his tires are just about threadbare. As it's going to be a 3-car battle for third as Tate Lytle, your race leader, has come down pit road. When are we going to see everyone else try and follow suit? It looks like Weeks, Husby, and Vandermeer are going to be too busy battling for it here. So Tate Lytle also, Tate Lytle, Mitchell Riggs, Jacob Fest-Cannon, and Alex Penn all down pit road. So it will very briefly show Matthew Weeks, Vandermeet, and Husby as your race leaders. Just about 38 laps left to go here. Now, it's going to be interesting if Riggs and Lytle can get out on track, avoid maybe getting trapped in a caution situation. They could look good with some fresh tires, but Weeks and Rogers, running first and second, are going to stretch out this run as long as they possibly can. They're going to be hoping for a caution to put some fast drivers down a lap. As, man, Weeks is hammering that back right quarter panel. I think he's going to get set up for a pit entry. Yes, he is. Let's see if Rogers follows suit. He does. And now I believe that's going to show Davis Warren in the number 70 machine as your race leader. I take it back. Warren comes down pit road. And now Lytle, after his lap 107 pit stop, should be the race leader as Weeks, Rogers, and Warren are all down pit road. So now as the pit cycles come through, it's Lytle, Riggs, and look at that, McGronigle in the 94 machine. With a bit of an undercut, McGronigle came in on lap 92. He now finds himself in podium contention. As we watch your race leader, Lytle, cutting through traffic. Getting a little bit squirrely there. We're watching Lytle flying around the track. Last time by was at 30.04. His fastest lap of the race, a 29.92. We get a word from the world-famous Australian Gareth McAllister. He got a meatball, despite feeling that the car was perfectly drivable and faster than some of the other drivers. Opted to stay out and unfortunately got disqualified. You got to respect the meatball, ladies and gentlemen. Going back to a possible battle for fourth, it's Jacob Fest-Cannon, Michael Vandermeet, Brad Delph running fourth, fifth, sixth. You've also got Mike Husby joining the fray as well. So looks like this pack is starting to catch up to McGronigle. Vandermeet, he came to lap 109, 17 laps fresher tires than the 94. He looks to the inside line of McGronigle. and Vandermeed will get the pass nice and smooth over McGonigal. McGonigal to try and fend off Best Cannon and Husby here. So now it's going to be a heated battle for fourth. McGonigal doing what he can with the older tires. Husby and Fescannon came in on lap 109 and 108 respectively. As who is that careening across the track? That's Gus Moody. Grabs the toe so the caution doesn't come out, but what happened to Moody? The driver, the world famous driver that just shows up and turns laps every now and then. Ooh, gets a hearty hit from behind, but smartly grabs a toe to avoid that caution coming out. Lytle's got to be happy with the lack of caution, but look at this. Why that's going on. Husby has taken over the spot from Vandermeed. And the battle for third still heating up. Both drivers came in a lap 109, so on the same tire strategy as well as fuel strategy. Now we know they can make it to the end here tonight, but who's going to be able to conserve the tires in the remaining 36 laps? Will Vandermeed have enough to catch back up to Husby? Less than 2/10 separating these drivers. Vandermeed had a pretty good run there. Is he going to maybe follow behind Husby and try and just to conserve tire? Set the pace a little bit faster than Husby wants to, and see who can get the other to burn up a little bit more tires. As now Jacob Fescannon and the 89 machine is going to be joining this three-car battle for third. Your race leaders have absolutely left, ladies and gentlemen. Tate Lytle currently 12 seconds ahead of Riggs. Riggs 10.5 seconds ahead of Husby. Looks like Husby pulling about a 4/10 advantage over Vandermeed. Hoping maybe that his teammate Fescannon will be able to get back up on that back bump of the number 7 machine and maybe lend some support in the closing 23-odd laps in tonight's feature event. So far, only one caution as of yet. And now Vandermeed pulling Husby back within 0.3 of a second. Almost wondering if they're playing the tire-saving game, seeing who's going to give, who's going to take, and who's going to have the equipment here at the end. Best Cannon on the back bumper of his teammate Michael Vandermeed. The laps rapidly clicking off. These two are still about 3/10 behind Husby. Are we going to see the two teammates late in the race working together, or is Best Cannon going to try and make a move on his teammate for a career best fourth tonight at the All-American ARCA Series, sponsored by Open Group? Again, if you're looking for web or server hosting, a great provider, check them out, Open Group, tonight's title sponsor. Alex Carr leaves pit road after an extended 32-second stay. As I want to check here, I believe it's 9 drivers, ladies and gentlemen. 9 drivers still on the lead lap. Sorry if I wasn't clear here. Best Cannon teammates with Vandermeed, if I was maybe miscalling that one. But what I'm interested to see, if Best Cannon's going to link up with Vandermeed and try and push that number 7 up towards Husby, running in third. Oh, I got an update. I'm doubly wrong. I am indeed 100% wrong. Best Cannon and Vandermeed not teammates in the All-American ARCA Series. Best Cannon racing with Mountain Man Motorsports, and Vandermeed with Cornerstone Motorsports. Now, these two drivers have worked together in different races, but tonight it will be every man for themselves. So look for that 89 machine to try and put some pressure on the 7 of Vandermeed. And a big shout out to Westergreen for dropping the juicy intel midway through tonight's race. As this will be our closest battle on the entirety of the track. 132 laps in, 31 laps in, I should say. Three-tenths separating the two drivers in the battle for fourth. Husby has pulled about 6/10 on Vandermeed. As Vandermeed might be looking in that rear view mirror, knowing the 89 machine's going to try something here. Heard a little bit of bumping and grinding from somewhere out on the track. Doesn't look like that was Husby, as his lap time's still good. Last time by, Husby with a 31.3. Vandermeed and Best Cannon both with high 31.3s as well. Oh, Best Cannon has a big run, doesn't do anything with it. Looks to the inside of Vandermeed. Side by side, a little bit of contact. Tags Vandermeed in the front right. Vandermeed just goes a little bit high. And that may allow Matthew Weeks to take a position as well. Weeks right on the tail end of Vandermeed. So now Vandermeed's going to have to fight tooth and nail to hold on to a top 5, as he's got Matthew Weeks right in tow, as well as lap traffic. That's going to be Cody McCorkle working his way up. Now McCorkle probably won't interfere with this battle here, but going to watch the two drivers fighting for position. And look at that, Fescannon starting to catch up to Husby. He's got it within 3/10. The number 89 machine looking for his first All-American ARCA podium. Nine laps left to go. Both drivers are going to wait to see what the other has in their back pocket. Now Fescannon's highest finish was a 4th, and he makes the pass on Husby and does so cleanly. Take a quick look back. You can see Fescannon diving down the inside line. Husby knowing nothing for him at this point, and then Fescannon makes the pass nice and clean. So Fescannon with a career highest finish. And no! Fescannon's going to throw it away there, tagging the outside wall through 3 and 4. Husby's going to try and take advantage of this. Ooh, Fescannon almost threw away a perfectly good podium. His highest finish again, where I got a little excited there, was a 4th place. Earlier this season, we get a report that he's been working with Husby in the Truck Series, the All-American Truck Series on Wednesdays. And things are coming along here. So it's shaping up to be a 3-car battle for 3rd once more. Fescannon, Husby, Vandermeed, Weeks. 4-car battle, I should say. Already knows to tail with a little bit of lap traffic intertwined. 5 laps left to go. Tate Lytle out front by a country mile. Mitchell Riggs running 2nd. And all eyes are on Fescannon to see what he can do in the 89 machine. Tagging the wall once more. Here comes Husby to try and capitalize. Husby shows Fescannon a wheel. What's going to happen? 3 laps left to go. Husby all over the back of Fescannon. Vandermeed and Matthew Weeks looking for a way around as well. Now Husby racing with Outlaw Racing. Fescannon with Mountain Man Motorsports, so 2 different teams trying to secure that final podium position. As our fill-in drivers, Tate Lytle, Mitchell Riggs, in a class of their own. 2 laps left to go, and we are waiting with bated breath to see what Fescannon can do here. He's going to have a whole lot of traffic ahead of him. We see some drivers diving down low. The white flag is out for Tate Lytle. Husby looking for a run down the backstretch. Won't have anything for Fescannon this time by. Oh, we are all on the edge of our seats for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Checkered flag is out as Tate Lytle brings home the win here at the All-American ARCA. Race at Darlington. Fescannon trying to get around traffic, nowhere to go. giving Husby an opportunity for a big run. And this gives you an idea of just how far back the battle for third was from the race leaders. Lytle and Riggs already down the line, but look at that. Jacob Fest-Cannon will pick up his first podium here tonight, with Tate Lytle taking the top spot and Mitchell Riggs finishing second. What a great race from these three drivers. And Tate Lytle's going to burn it down here tonight. The Southern 200, a well-deserved win. The 05 machine, his car owner, an absolute mad lad himself, going ballistic in the spectator area. Both car owners, Wester Green and Robert Hill Jr., ecstatic with how their drivers have done tonight. And Lytle gonna thoroughly enjoy the moment. Try and get a better shot of that 5 machine basking in the limelight as we start to get our drivers up here in victory lane. Up first, we're going to get Jacob Fest-Cannon in the number 89 machine. Jacob, you got a copy?
I got you, James. Nice to hear you.
As well, my friend, a white-knuckle ride for what seemed about the last 20 laps. You've been out to the All-American ARCA Series. You've had some good days, a whole lot of bad days, but tonight able to finish up one spot from where you're qualified, avoid the carnage, and get the podium. Finally, a long-awaited moment.
Yeah, it feel like it was never gonna come. I didn't think I'd ever get to talk to you in any of these races at all.
Well, it finally happened. What's been the secret to your newfound success? I mean, no big incidents, qualified well, and fought extremely hard there at the end.
Yeah, I gotta give a big shout out to Mike Husby there. He ran me about as clean as anybody possibly could. I screwed up quite a bit in those last 10 laps, and he gave me all the room I needed. But no, big ton of work between Mike Husby and Bobby Hill Jr. Those two have supported me quite a bit over the last few months, put a ton of time into me. I'm glad I'm finally able to give them some results. But everybody in both the Crew Chiefs Corner team and the Mountain Man Motorsports have been a massive contributor to my success lately.
Well, glad to see things working out well. Now, again, yeah, you touched on those. I don't want to know if there were mistakes or what the issue was in the final 15 laps. Was that the car getting tight? Were you overdriving it? What was causing you to tag that wall every now and then?
I would say that's a bit of everything. It's a lot of absolute terrible driver just being a little too nervous and not being comfortable enough in that situation, not being confident. Car definitely got tight. I had to push the issue to go around a few cars in the middle of that second run, so just tore the right front up, and it got real tough to turn it in the center. But that's also a lot of Darlington that you got to run that thing as far on the edge as you possibly can, and it's real easy to step over it.
Well, Jacob, congratulations, man. First time out on the podium this season. Hopefully the first of many to come. Who'd you like to give a shout out to? Friends, family, sponsors that's cheering you on in that number 89 machine.
Got to give a massive shout out and thanks to my wife Tiffany for supporting me, letting me take all this time to have some fun and kick around with all the virtual friends. Again, big thanks to Mike Husby and Robert Hill Jr. for all the faith, all the work, giving me all the resources to improve. Big thanks to Crew Chiefs Corner, Bobby Hill for putting me in this. This kind of came to deal as a last minute thing for this season. And big thanks to Mountain Man Motorsports. It's been a lot of help from all those guys.
Awesome. Jacob, congratulations again, my friend, and we hope to see you back up here in the near future.
Sounds good. Look forward to talking to you soon, James.
Thank you, sir. That was Jacob Fest-Cannon finishing third. Now we've got Mitchell Riggs joining us, the fill-in driver, the number 55 machine. Riggs way ahead. Westergreen joins in the spectator area, and he was absolutely losing it. So first off, welcome to the family, and second off, congratulations on a great second here tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man, and thanks for David to let me drive in his car. It was a last deal, our last minute effort here. I didn't really know I was going to be doing anything tonight, and he tweeted out that he needed some help, so I just decided to come on board.
Now, Mitchell, did he give you any team instructions tonight? Was it, don't wad up the car, bring home some points? Was it lick the stamp, send it? What was Westergreen feeding you coming into tonight?
Well, I mean, I honestly I didn't even really know who my teammates were until about 10 minutes before the race, but once I figured that out, and once we got in the race, I just took care of everybody. I made sure I got my at least I got to the end maybe, and then we got to the end and just rode around. Tate was gone. He was saving tires and just faster than us all night. He could save and be fast, so I was just worried about trying to bring it home in second. Had a good run. I'm happy that I could do that for David.
Now, Mitchell, in these high horsepower cars, a tough track such as Darlington, were you expecting those long green flag runs tonight, or was that a bit of a welcome surprise for you?
I mean, it was a welcome surprise based off of what I was seeing in practice. I thought there's a couple guys struggling in here. We're going to see a couple cautions for sure, and I think there was a couple wrecks that could have been cautions, but they didn't come out, and we ended up having only one caution, I think. So that was pretty good. We all did really well. The lap cars were pretty respectful. We did a good job getting around them, and they let us through pretty good. So I'm happy with the one caution. I'm pleasantly surprised.
Awesome. Great job out there tonight, finishing a second on behalf of David Westergreen. I know he's excited as well, and it might be a tough one since you're so new and not a lot of driver briefing, but any friends, family, sponsors you want to give a shout out to tonight, Mitchell?
I'll give a shout out to David again. Thanks for letting me come on board. I'll give a shout out to Davis Warren if you want to get some cheap NASCAR tickets for Richmond, Darlington, and I think Atlanta. Shout or message him on Twitter. Other than that, I don't really have anyone else. So again, thanks David for letting me come on board.
Awesome. Mitchell, welcome to our large dysfunctional family. Good to see you come out on top with a second place, and hope to see you back in the future in some sort of capacity.
Yep, thanks, man. As I might be back.
Awesome.
We'll see.
Looking forward to it. Have a good one, Mitchell.
Yep, you too, man.
That was Mitchell Riggs finishing second, but now the man of the hour, somebody we haven't talked to in a while, Tate Lytle, bringing it home in the number one spot in that '05 machine.
Yeah, man, that was a fun race. Love racing at Darlington, and glad we were able to get some green flag runs there.
Yeah, Tate, we were kind of asking Mitchell about that as well. I mean, what we saw in practice and even a little bit of qualifying, drivers having a tough go of it. I mean, granted, there were a couple of incidents that probably could have justifiably had the caution come out, but looked like that was one of the longest green flag runs of the season. Was that something you could have possibly prepared for?
It's not like I really had a chance to prepare for it anyway, but no, I mean, I was expecting it to. Oh, hold on. I was expecting it to be caution filled, so I mean, I was kind of thinking we'd do a bunch of 10, 15 lap runs and that would be it. But yeah, I'm glad we were able to get some green flag runs in there, and I wasn't sure where we were going to fall. We were kind of 4 seconds back at the beginning of that first run, and I guess those guys were just charging really hard, and we were able to make up some time on them and get the lead, and I think we pretty much held on to it from there on out. So just got to thank old Robert Hale. I don't know. Thought he was coming back from he had to go pick up his family from something, and they must have conned him into going to dinner or something because he still he hadn't shown back up. But glad to give the '05 a checkered flag, and it looks like Jacob Feskinen, he came home with a podium too. So good night for the team, and that's really what I was here for. I was just trying to make sure we could maximize points for the team. So, but yeah, just cool to be back.
Well, yeah, Tate, good having you back, my friend. It's been a long time, and coming back out in dominant fashion. I mean, you qualified 7th tonight. You had that first early caution lap 49. Did that change your pit strategy at all, or did you even have one, kind of expecting to have those 10, 15 lap flurries of green flag runs, and then all of a sudden we have a clean race out of nowhere?
I don't know. I think I was just going to run it dry a field regardless on that first run, and that's what I did on that second long run. Pretty much. I probably could have got another lap, but there's no point. And I don't know if you caught it on the broadcast. I figured if you did, you would have asked me about it. But I almost wrecked with like 7 to go, pretty good. So
I thought I
was-
heard a good wall tap going on there. We were focused on the battle for third, I think, and from somewhere up about 12 seconds ahead, you hear just the slight crinkle of bodywork. Was that the car tightening up? Was it attrition? What had that incident coming to you?
that was just a lack of focus. I was looking at the intervals between those guys that were racing for third, trying to see if Jacob and Weeks and Rogers were gonna be able to challenge for it, and I just wasn't really paying attention, and about took myself out. But luckily, we were able to clean it back up. But definitely, Casey was behind me. I was like, Casey, you didn't see that, and I was like, hopefully, neither did the broadcast. I hope the broadcast didn't see it either. So
Yeah, you
But,
got lucky on that one, my friend. But hey,
Big time.
good having you back out here, man. I know you're team owner, or you're the driver, the owner of your car, I should say. Sorry, it's been a long night. He was joining here in the chat the entire time, cheering you on. So good to see the entire team come out to support you. And you've got the privilege and the luxury, my friend, of the final send-off. Any friends, family, sponsors you want to give a word to, the floor is all yours.
yeah, Robert Hill Jr. for letting me race his car. I don't know what I'd be doing right now otherwise, but yeah, glad I was able to get out and race. I'm over here on the West Coast, so I still got a lot of night ahead of me. So shout out to my friends I'm about to go see.
Well, awesome, Tate. Enjoy celebrating in style, my friend. Good to see you good, even better to see you on the top spot, and congratulations to a well-deserved victory here.
Thanks, James. Have a good one.
Thank you, my friend. And that was Tate Lytle bringing it home in the #1 spot. Great racing from all of these competitors. But again, it was Tate Lytle, Mitchell Riggs, 2 substitute drivers going 1 and 2, with Jacob Fest Cannon getting his first podium here at the All-American ARCA Series, rounding out the top 3. As always, on behalf of the All-American ARCA Series, as well as Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, my name is James East. Thank you all so much for tuning in, spending your Friday night with us, and we look forward to seeing you same time, same place next week. Have a great night, everyone.